I think even as a child I was kind of aware that there's something higher. And I think a turning point in my life was when at school we studied one book by a German author, Hermann Hesse, Siddhartha. I would say it's kind of a journey of life which this book describes, of a person who was somehow or other not satisfied with the normal upbringing. So he left when he was young the parents and went with mystic people on a journey and discovered more and more what was actually his purpose of life. That was for me a call both for going to India and also considering life is more than just working and eating and have the normal life. While being in India as a young hippie at that time, I spent quite some time in ashrams, spent time in a Catholic monastery, several weeks. I studied also the entire Quran. In India I learned variety is the spice of life. Different religions present the same truth according to time, place and circumstance. When you look at it, Buddha had monks as disciples 2,500 years ago. He was teaching the same truth but differently because he had a different audience. Jesus 2,000 years ago, he had fishermen, he had tax people, he had farmers. In Palestine area 2,000 years ago, there's another level of understanding, and of course he had to present it accordingly. Mohammed 1,300 years ago in the desert, again there were different people, again the same truth had to be presented differently. I didn't want to become something like belonging to a particular institution or religious movement, but I liked that there is something deeper behind the surface of every religion. But as far as I'm concerned, for me this Vedic path, this ancient Indian path, this spirituality, the philosophy is very attractive. And it was actually by chance, as we call it, this was in Switzerland. I knew one friend. He had a boy who was 14 years old, and one day this 14-year-old boy came to me and asked whether he could talk with me. I said, yes, no problem. What do you want to discuss? I said, well, he has stress. Everyone in school knows what they want to become. He doesn't know. And his father said I could help him. And I was surprised and said, no, sorry, I'm not trained in that. I'm not specialized in that. But he insisted. And I'm generally a guy, if someone asks me, I say yes, because I can learn something. Even if the decision might be wrong, it's an experience from which you can learn. So I thought, if I'm the wrong guy, then I know I'm the wrong guy, but let's give it a chance. So I told him, come back in 2 months. I tried to prepare myself. I tried to do some homework. I talk with people who are professional. I read books. And after 2 months, he came back. We had that discussion and I could help him. And it was an inspiration. And since about 20 years, I teach in yoga schools, the philosophy of yoga. I've done over 100 individual coachings and probably about 40 seminars on that theme. Mainly the books I was reading were in English, so I was requested to present them in German, so I started to publish books about the Vedic texts in the German language. So this is one of the activities I do besides coaching and seminars. I felt if I can help support people finding their Dharma, finding the purpose of life, finding their, nature, so to say, and act according to the nature, that's a very inspiring and pleasant activity, because ultimately we are all servants of others. Others serve us, we serve them with our inclinations, with our nature, with our skills, and I think that makes a harmonious and happy world.